Free hip hop, free hip hop. Yeah. Free hip hop, 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 free hip. Yo, I need a little hand with this. Come on, yo. Free hip hop, 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 free hip hop. Yeah, I wanna experiment a little something and just try something a little new, you know what I'm saying? This music's for you. But really though, how you gonna live if you ain't free, man? Respect to Napster for giving me my first deal. My online distribution for worldwide appeal. The online audience for the real is a steal. You like my MP3, will tell your friend the deal. But there's a lot in the game that don't feel the same. They gotta pay the gangs, but that'll never change. I'm hearing this whackness every day, it's a shame. They ain't buying records, so who are they to blame? What, you think I'm selling this music because I have to? I give it away and play amphitheaters like David Matthews. Spend your money cracking goose just to act loose. I'll catch you off point K or slay you like Papoose. Holding companies, the ground labels, the tree. A&R is the branch and contracts the noose. KB proceeds to give you what you need. Wind, sun, and the sea. Give me enough currency. Now say free hip hop. Free hip hop. Come on, you don't stop till your body rock. Now say free hip hop. Free hip hop. Come on, you don't stop till your body rock. Now say. So what am I supposed to do? Look, I don't mind distance. If I start, I'ma finish. The rhyme style design, give a rush line of scrimmage. You blind in the gimmick, I'm wise and exquisite. You sniffing lines, I vibe off the lime and the Guinness. The one Chris prolific on my side, kinda different.
Right,
Squad stir department, 45 scientific. I strive and I'm vivid, cause I'm live and I'm wicked.
Good morning, I see there's a Raul in here. Today, here I am, the First Lady Erika. We're in the Mo Zone. We're going to be talking to Mr. Keith Salandi, also known in the entertainment world as K Banger. He's got a new CD coming out. He's dropping it today. Hopefully he'll give us a little listen to it. This young man is from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. He's got a Caribbean background, and he's been doing a lot of great things. Here we go. He'll be on in a moment, but before we get started, my name again is the First Lady Erika with World Financial Group. I like talking to my friends in the Mo Zone to highlight their businesses and what they're doing great and just share it with others. Now, working with World Financial Group, I definitely believe in sharing the wealth, teaching people and families and business owners what they can do to help prosper themselves and to understand finances. So the bottom line is what we do with World Financial Group is teach people how money works. Teach them the rules about money, because as you all know right now, with this economic crisis that we have going on, people need answers. But what's happened is we didn't have enough education in the first place to put us on a good foundation. So when things like this happen, when you have 2-3 months where you can't work and can't socialize and can't do what you normally do, how do you make the money last? Well, one of the biggest things that we do here at World Financial Group is we teach people how to build an emergency fund, to build 3 to 6 months of, your expenses, have that set aside. So when things like this happen, that you won't be affected so badly. One thing I know about Mr. Salandi and his music is he likes to talk about the world, his morals, his views on finances and things like that. And he likes to put that type of education in his music. So a little background on how we met, he came to a vision board class of mine in about 2019, January 2019, he did a vision board class. And we've been partnering together ever since to help teach people about money and about finances, how money works, just to teach people about the money game. So in a moment here, we're going to get a chance to talk to Mr. Salandi. He's done so much in the underground. He was a hip hop MC, a drummer. I mean, he's been doing concerts, live concerts since age 13. He's been the head audio producer at Black Entertainment Television, also known as BET, in the creative services department out there in New York. He's been with affiliate labels like New Line Cinema, Universal Publishing, 45 Science, Sony, and so many more. And it's brought him to where he is today here out in Orlando, Florida, making music, helping people make money, making connections, helping business owners. And we're glad to have him with us today.
Yeah, 1, 2.
1, 2, we got you.
Yeah, girl. What's good? Hold up.
I'm
let me get live.
I want to
Let
hear.
me get live with you. Hold up. What's up?
Okay, well, what's
Hey, man. Hey, man. How's everything?
Awesome. I've been so excited waiting to hear this new music, and I know a lot of people are rooting for you. Tell us, I gave a little bit of background about yourself, but just tell us where you're coming from and where you're at with this music.
Okay, yeah. Hold up, Pop. I'm doing this. As you can see, this is a real life tip going on right now. I mean, the place looks crazy. My son's running around, just cleaned up. So this is the real life thing.
Quarantine life.
You know, yeah. Right? Yeah. You know, I don't know where to start because this would take up probably the whole length of the time that we have here, and I don't want to do that. But
you gotta do.
For those that don't that are not familiar with what I've done and my musical background, I have music in my family, and I've always pursued this type of thing even as a child. So I kind of got bumped into DJing and then the MCing thing with my brother Quest back home, and we were inspired by what was going on and wanted to start a little group, and I was supposed to be the DJ in the group. But I didn't like the progress at the time, so I ended up started just coming up with raps for the guys to say, for my man Diab and Quest to say. And next thing you know, I'm writing the songs for them, and I'm like, wait, where is this coming from? I was supposed to be the DJ of the group. You know, that's me, always trying to be in the back somewhere. So then I had another friend that tried to force me into a competition. He didn't actually do it. He was bluffing, so I convinced myself to be a part of the competition. I was 13 at the time, and I got in there and got first place in that competition. And that promoter was very encouraging at the time. And he helped me to get onto other shows. And from then, I just kept pursuing music in every way that I can. The street forms of music were, of course, the first. Hip hop being a street art form for people that don't have access to, you know, music lessons and things like that. And I did want to learn how to play piano and drums and different music. It wouldn't be till later on that I would have the opportunity to do those type of things. So that in a nutshell is how I started. And it's been a long road ever since.
Okay, so that's how you pretty much got started. That's amazing. I know you told me about your first concert at 13. You got to drop that little story.
Yeah, you want me to drop that story? It's a funny story.
Amazing.
It's a funny story. So here I am with my friend and the brother of a well-known model, Vita Guerrera, my man Mike. And he's with me pursuing this, and I go and I try out for this show. It's my first time on stage, and man, it was terrifying. So
I get dropped off to this place. I'm with my man Dave Velez. We're home. I'm getting ready, and I have no entourage with me, no crew. And my man's uncle Jim drops me off in Elizabeth, New Jersey at 13 years old. This is a big city, you know, right next to Newark. I get dropped off and it's like, good luck, man, do your thing. And I'm dead in there by myself to do this show. And the place is packed. And I get on stage to do this number. I've been practicing for weeks on this number. And I get on stage and I say, hey, Elizabeth, New Jersey, how you doing tonight? And then it's quiet. And then somebody says, this ain't the Apollo mother. and dude, and they're booing me. And then the beat hit. And I don't know, it just changed from boos to just this huge crowd reaction of appreciation and a lot of love. And I got first place that night. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it.
So with your music, you got kind of a no-nonsense vibe with your music. Tell me what that's about. Like, what's the basis of your music? What's the core? What do you try to stay focused on?
Yeah, that's a good question. I really don't know, but obviously I have a lot of influence. For those that know my music, I have a lot of spiritual influence, Black struggle influence, reality rap influence. I'm from Perth Amboy, New Jersey. This is a very historic city in USA that a lot of people don't know about. Many have said that Perth Amboy is haunted for other reasons that I won't go into here. So the vibe of where I grew up, even though it's a very affluent neighborhood, was very dark, and the cemetery and just the proprietary house and these places that were deemed haunted, and I would walk those streets, and has given me kind of like a dark, hard influence to the music, but not to the point of being vulgar or anything. I chose not to be too explicit with the lyrics, even though with this new project, you see, that's the first time I've ever had a parental advisory sticker on a project, but it's not because I'm dropping F-bombs or anything. It's just some strong language. I didn't want to go through editing everything, so I left it. But
I saw the advisory and I kind of wondered, like, what? Okay.
Yeah, no, that's the first time, and it's not because of it's minor offenses, but I still put the warning out there. So all those things have a lot to do with my music, just a natural inclination. My family's from Trinidad and Tobago, and the joke is that people from Trinidad are either party or just serious, and I think that I could be a very serious guy at times.
Oh, yeah.
And that does go into the music, yeah.
So we met with a vision board class, and we've been able to do business together. I mean, you're in the W-2 world, but you've been in the 1099 world.
Yeah.
It's a struggle for people because, 1099, you're doing everything on your own. W-2, your employer is taking care of some of the things, but not all of the things. And what is your goal? What's your mission, like, when it comes to bringing these aspects of educating people, like, hey, 1099 life is great if you do it right. So tell us more, like, are you incorporating some of this, some of the teachings that you do?
Yes. Okay, so early on when my career really started, when I turned the corner and I was really doing things in audio production and music full time with my own business, licensing music, the things that you're talking about really hit home, because I came from an environment where in W-2. I had a 401k set up, had health benefits set up, and now I'm considered freelance. So now, if you have any kind of regard for your retirement or health benefits and things like that, you're on your own.
Right.
So I was grateful to have the mind to look into that. And I had definitely had a nice amount of help on the way. Some of which you have to research on your own and discover on your own, and you learn as you go along. Fast forward to now, my situation is kind of different, but those things I still carry with me to this day, even in a W-2 environment, because not everything that they offer is to my liking. I'm not a fan of 401k at all, but if I'm offered one and the company matches me money, yeah, of course I'm going to take it. But there are other things that I feel are better. Just last year, I took things a step further, and I actually got licensed myself, which you already know. I got licensed myself in order to learn more about this and to provide this service to other people that I was working with, because there's a lot of freelance people out there that do not have any information about any of this type of stuff, and I saw opening to provide some information, and so far it's been very exciting for me.
I like it because I was talking to a friend of mine, Michelle Yarborough, which we'll all be talking to her on the 26th. She calls it Your Money, Your Life. As an entertainer, you being the person that's fully in charge of your finances and aware of where money is going, but also setting money aside for yourself when the trip is over. What do you think? Can you speak on that? Like, is there some things maybe that you believe?
Yes. Yes, absolutely. So anyone in the entertainment business knows that there has been a big lack of education and information and development in this regard, right? We can look at movie after movie about artists and different people, and we can predict what we're going to see happen, right?
Right.
Somebody with talent. They start small. They get a big following. Here comes some money people. They put them in a contract. They succeed. Bigger crowds, bigger money, but then somehow along the way they end up broke or dead from drugs or something else grim is going on. Well, there's clearly a lack of information and development in this regard as it pertains to the estate. Look at Aretha Franklin or Prince, probate, taking half the money, no will set up, no estate planning, just things all over the place. So I don't know if I'm going off topic here or if slightly forgot your question, but to answer what you're saying,
yeah.
I'm sorry?
Yeah, I wouldn't say you're off topic. I mean, it's to the point where people say NFL stands for not for long. You know what I mean? You're on top for a while,
right.
all this money, but then when that little career is over, when the trip is over, people are sitting on the steps, busted and disgusted. So it's very rare that you live that life and see that amount of wealth and then retain it. So I love the fact that when you and I are working together, we're trying to show people, how do you retain the wealth?
Right. Part of let me put it this way. A lot of people don't know is when it comes to these artistic projects, even with A-list level talent and things like that, they always have a couple things going on. It's not just the music and performances. There's some other things that are tied in, other brands and other things. With this, I attempt. It's just natural for me to make the attempt to help other people in this regard to, look at their financial outlook and see what they have going on and, determine what the gaps are and see where we can help, or help other people to find a business opportunity within what we're doing as well. And the music helps to, relay that message and to, give an incentive for people to get in contact with me, and it creates a conversation and gives an incentive for people to check out what I'm doing in another forum. So again, it's even though it's different from music, I still do it to help people in this regard, because especially in entertainment, this resource is needed. People need to know how to protect their estate and how to even develop their estate. A lot of people don't even have it. Most of these people have never even spoke to a financial professional. And here you have an entity just throwing, in some cases, literally millions of dollars into a project. You earn that money and then it just disappears. It's in one hand, it goes out the other. And I'm on a mission to change. I have a personal mission to change that.
Right. I guess it is. It's kind of like the lottery, because if you've never dealt with that amount of money, you don't really know how to manage that amount of money. Then you kind of put it in someone else's hands. I know that's one of the things that I like about our company is, like, we teach people what to do with their money. I don't touch your money. I tell you, you either take your advice or you don't. But the knowledge
Right.
here, if you want more, you can get more. If you take a sip and that's all you want, I try not to force business on people. I try to allow them to do what they want to do, but I try to make sure that the education is there and that it's just open for as many people as possible. And of course, you do the same thing because we're partnered together. I'd like to ask, with this new album, it's called Declassified, which you say album, right? But music is digital. But
Right, yeah, right.
Tell us about Declassified, the name, what's the music about?
Okay, yeah.
Actually,
Yeah, I mean, well, well, okay, declassified. So I end up in Florida, right? And I'm working my first full-time job in over 10 years, right? Climbing out of the 2008 hole. I get here, and of course, I'm meeting a lot of new people. And I successfully hid anything that I had to do with music for about almost 3 years. I hid this from people. I didn't mention it to anyone. People knew that I played the drums and that I played with a band, a reggae band. Shout out to my Random Test family, my Balance Project family. That I played behind some bands back in Jersey, but they didn't know about my discography or this music until one day, somebody let the cat out of the bag. Somebody found my information online and they came across stuff. And surprisingly, well, not so surprisingly, people started showing a lot of love and support. And then this unfortunate situation with COVID-19 descended on us. I had a lot of material just sitting around from, deals that didn't go right. 2008 yet again, different projects that fell through over the years. And I don't know, I was just compelled to kind of compile this classified music and make it declassified for people to hear and enjoy. Not only for people that know me over the years, but for the new folks that have shown support. I wanted to put something out there for them and, give them a chance to hear some of the stuff that I've done over the years and set up a platform for some new material later on in the year. So that's basically what the classified is about. Now it's kind of odd that it's tied in with this time of, you know, secrets coming out and, you know, people wondering about the intention and planning of certain groups and government, things like that. So I don't know, it just kind of fits with the time.
Yeah,
That's basically what the project is about in a nutshell.
name. I love the poster too. I love that.
Yeah, it's kind of hardcore. I didn't at first I thought, you know, maybe it might have been a little too much for what I was trying to get across, but it has a little bit of shock value to it. I think it goes along with some of the really horrific and unnecessary killing that's been going on, people fighting for their gun rights, which I don't own guns. I don't believe in having them in the home. But I do respect the authority and their rights of citizens. And, you know, like I told you before, this is the type of stuff I address in my music. This is what I enjoy. So I've never really done this to try to achieve a pop hit. Well, maybe I have, but not in a way. If I'm going to sell out, I'm going to sell out me, you know, like Timbaland says. I'm not going to try to, I'm not with the sexy type of thing. I like my reality rap, and this cover, yeah, this cover is to me, it reveals a reality.
Yeah, it really grew on me, and it did. It exactly is addressing right now the actual times that we live in: declassified documents, secrets, gun rights, problems with the police, things like that we won't even get specific about. I saw this cover maybe nearly a month ago, and at first I was like, and then it's grown on me so much, and I'm like, wow, this has become so relevant. It's very, very relevant right now. So, you know, that was definitely meant to be. What do you want to see happen with this music? What do you want what's your goal?
Okay, well, you know, this Erica, this is hip hop, you know, and I like to know that I'm affiliated with hip hop in its purest form. So the first thing is to release an expression, an artistic expression, not for any money or accolades or anything like that, but just this is always what I've done. People that know me know that this is always what I've been about, always. But at the same time, I am an entrepreneur. I am a businessman. The goal is to expose this catalog of music to people, to new people, and to reintroduce to people that know who I am, to gain some attraction and feedback and see what they have to say, and then also use this as a way to expose people to some of the other things that I'm doing and what we're doing, because it may offer an opportunity to someone out there, and that's ultimately what I would like to do. I would love for my music to be a catalyst and a foundation for charity and giving and opportunity and entrepreneurship and ideas.
So what age group would you say is this targeted towards? What
is that
who's
you put me in a bad position with the age question, Erika.
Old heads.
Yeah, no, man. Nah, listen, man. You know, everybody, let me just
arm to it, you know.
Right. Hey, check it out. Well, that's another side of this, right? Because my music has provided for me a very unique learning opportunity that I would not have learned anywhere else. You know, when I was selling CDs out of the trunk of my car, you couldn't talk to me about demographics. I was just kind of going for it. Yeah, you know, I didn't know any of that stuff. I didn't know that the skills that I was learning, dealing with rejection in the street. You know, you try to sell a CD in the street, and see, yeah, it's not for the it's not for the faint of heart. Yeah, you're gonna, you know. So it provided a chance for me to learn a lot of skills and a lot of things that I would use in a professional, in my professional world. So as far as demographics, I don't know, but here's what I do think. This is a very exciting time for music, because if you think about it, right? I have my first release that was out of the trunk in 2 years will be 20 years old. Right now it's 18 years old. So I put out my first album 18 years ago. Well, if this was 1980, for example, and I put out an album 20 years before 1980, that's 1960. Are you following me?
Whoa, okay.
So think about the fidelity of the audio. Think about the sound quality of recordings in 1960 versus 1980. Big difference, a lot more high-end, different technology and mastering and equipment. But now we have this time warp going on where in 2020, you listen to music 20 years ago and there's some differences, but there's a similar fidelity, and quite frankly, you have a lot of young people out there digging for old stuff. So, you know, my demographic really could be anywhere from 15 to 60 something. You know, but I don't know if anybody has suggestions for me as to what I'm doing. Go to kbanger.com, drop some comments, drop your information. Let's talk about it, because marketing has definitely has not been my strong point. But I've managed to get around pretty well on my own. So there's always room to learn in that regard, right?
Most definitely. Definitely. Well, I'm still trying to sneak a sample out of you, but I don't know if you're gonna give it to us.
Yeah, I don't. Well,
No.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not really set up for the clear situation. You know, my speakers are not around, and
okay.
but you know, but I'll tell you what. It's this simple, y'all. Go to kbanger.com and the release information is there. This project will be available on all platforms, some of which are still being sent to certain platforms to be available, like Apple Music and Spotify. Sometimes that doesn't always happen on time. But Bandcamp, right? kbanger.bandcamp.com has the album. You can download it for free. All you have to do is just put your email in there and you can get the project, or you can stream it right there. And all those links are available on my page at kbanger.com. Or you can go directly to kbanger.bandcamp.com and it's there.
So is that SoundCloud, or how is this?
I'm on SoundCloud, I'm on Apple Music, I'm on Spotify. So the easiest way for people to access these different platforms, to choose the platform that you like the best or that you enjoy. Everybody likes something different. Some people listen to Spotify, some people listen to Apple Music. I have all those links right on the home page at kbanger.com. You can just go on there and choose the platform of your choice, enjoy the music, and I would hope I'd hear from you. Let me know what you think, and leave your email, get on the email list, follow me on Twitter, Follow me on Facebook or Instagram, and I'll keep you posted with the updates of not only what we're doing musically, but what we're doing in the community, entrepreneur-wise, and depending on where you fit in or how you want to support, or if there's any way we can support you, just reach out and we'll make that happen.
Most definitely. Well, unless you have more you'd like to share, we can wrap.
All right, yeah, well, yeah, let's wrap this up, man. We got things to do.
All right.
Is there anything that I forgot? I don't think there's really much else that I forgot. But listen, y'all, K-Banger Declassified. All right, MrSalandi.com, aka KBanger.com. Available for free download. You can leave a tip if you'd like. You can pay any amount you want for this album, including $0.
Oh wow.
Okay, we have to do this for the COVID situation, man. But if you want to leave a tip, be my guest. Even my Cash App, all that is on kbanger.com. I appreciate your support either way. Whatever you can do or can't do, I appreciate you. I want to send a special shout out to the fine people dealing in development in financial counseling and leadership development from the World Financial Group, yourself, and everything that you have done for me and my family. I appreciate you. Mr. Brian DeCall, Nancy and Julian Rojo, the whole team. Want to shout out Balance Project, my homie Triple Beam, KR Morales featured on the album, my whole posse, the Third World family, Balance Project, all of y'all.
All right.
Of y'all supporting, everybody in tune. Peace. Thank you. Love you. See you on the next one.
All right. Well, that was great. We've been talking to Mr. Keith Salandi, known as K-Banger. He hid it from us for a while till we heard that music from the Monkey Work. We heard that song. We were playing around the office and ribbing him a lot about it. And tomorrow night, we'll be talking to Ms. Hassanatu Berry out there in New York, founder of the Babysitter Guru. She's an amazing young lady, 23 years old. She has her own business where she's teaching parents how to find good childcare. Number two, she's teaching childcare providers how to have that patience and make it the best experience for the child. She's giving them training and tips and tools, and she's working together with the parents and the childcare provider. And looking at what parents should be looking for, what providers can do for training. This young lady's been featured on the New York Post, or in the New York Post. She's one of the #2 providers of service in care.com and other forums. It's going to be an amazing time. I think you're really going to enjoy the conversation. And if you're looking for some place to talk about sharing tips for the regular person, things for entrepreneurs, for entertainers, just things you want to share, a platform so you can help teach others and pay it forward. This is what it's all about, the Mo Zone, getting in there to the momentum zone, bringing positivity to friends, family, and neighbors, guided by the principles and the law of reciprocity and the law of compensation, because I do believe that as we help others, we ultimately help ourselves. And it's been great talking to you. Have a great day. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye.